Welcome, good people of the internet. This is the Celebrity Barber podcast. I'm your host, Nelson Carmona, and on this podcast, we share stories from the hair industry and the unique people in it. In today's podcast, we have Chaz the Barber. I was lucky enough to cross paths with Chaz, and he was gracious enough to sit down for this interview. We go over a little bit of everything from his career to the barber community and what it means to evolve so you don't dissolve. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Let's get started. Welcome to the Celebrity Barber podcast. I'm your host, Nelson Carmona. And today's special guest, we have Chaz the Barber. Welcome, Chaz.
Thank you for having me, Nelson.
Yeah. Thank you for being on here. I know our time's limited and all that stuff. So, and you have a very expansive career to go over. But what we basically like to do in the beginning of the podcast is basically kind of just go over people's journeys of how they came into the barber industry and stuff like that.
Okay.
So if you can bring us back to the beginning, what was that first intention or that first interest that came to you in the barber industry?
So I think it first started when I was about, I want to say 7 years old. You know, my mom used to cut my hair with the coupon scissors.
Okay.
You know, the big orange scissors.
Yeah.
And we're in my kitchen and she starts cutting my hair, whatever. And then my older brother just starts laughing, dying laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, what are you laughing? You know, what are you laughing at? And then my mom starts laughing. And you know, for your mom to start laughing.
Yeah, that was bad.
And then she gave me the ill Monchinchi haircut, like bowl. I don't even know what she did.
Yeah.
And I just start crying.
Oh man.
I'm like, I can't go to school. It was more out of like anger, like
Yeah.
I can't go to school like this. And this is me in what, second grade, third grade. So I couldn't not be out of school for any. I had to be on my deathbed to be out of school.
No, gotcha.
So that was a Sunday. That Monday, I went to the barber,
Mm-hmm.
and he gave me a haircut. And I think it was at that moment that I saw the importance of a barber, like how good I felt after he gave me a real haircut.
Yeah, proper
haircut. That's like kind of going really back, but I think that was a super, like a pivotal moment in my life.
Yeah.
That kind of led to where I'm at right now. I was always into drawing and graffiti and art. So I remember seeing Anthony Mason from the Knicks back in the day. He would get all the designs in his head.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, you could do that in someone's head? And that's really kind of like, at that age, made me like really want to pursue it.
Got you. So that spark of wanting to improve your image and all that stuff,
and be creative and be able to make money through my creativity.
Oh, did the power went out? Just for a second. We got some spirits in here.
That was my mom for saying the story about her messing my hair
up. So up until that point, you know, you're a little kid, of course, in second grade. Mm-hmm. When did you start actually picking up a pair of clippers and experimenting on your friends or yourself and stuff like that?
The first time I was 16 years old.
16?
Yeah, we were all at a friend's house, and my homegirl pulled out her dad's like clippers, and my friend's like, I'll let you cut my hair.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to do anything at the time. I was like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I just started doing it, and that's kind of like what started that whole process.
Yeah. Did you mess up a couple heads and all that stuff?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For a long, there was no YouTube or Instagram or networking with barbers. Like,
yeah, it was that instant feedback.
And I was none of that. Well, that instant feedback, there was no education. It was like a clandestine culture where you really had to like figure it out on your own. You know, people weren't really teaching you back then, you know, because kind of like they didn't want you to take away from what they were doing.
Got you.
Yeah. But I was fortunate enough to have a lot of mentors along the way, though.
Yeah. Was it like kind of like the old school tattooers and stuff like that, not giving away their secrets and stuff
absolutely.
like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because everyone had that mentality, like I had to figure it out, you figure it out.
Got
like the old school mentality. Now we're a little more open, and we want to educate because we want to like bring the industry to higher standards.
Absolutely. Now, when did you get into like a proper shop and all that stuff?
Proper shop when I was 18 years old.
Okay. Yeah. Right out of high school and stuff like that.
I was still in high school. It was the spring of my senior year. that's when I like really, really picked it back up. Like 16 was me kind of just like grabbing a clipper and doing it. And then out of like right during high school, I was kind of like, I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of just, it was just a gift that was given to me.
Yeah.
And it just was a calling that I had. I knew it was something that I wanted to do. I saw Big Pun had a barbershop. Big Pun was like my favorite rapper. And I was like, oh, that's dope. There's a barbershop and it has like a hip hop element and this and that. So all these little like instances and that I saw kind of like really like drew me to it. You know what I mean? So I picked up the clippers back then and I started practicing, you know, on my friends.
Yeah.
But then I had a friend that was cutting hair. My friend Walt, this kid, my man Walter, he's the one I really learned like that taught me. Walter from North Plainfield, Jersey. He's a legend.
Yeah.
He taught me how to cut hair upside down. I was using the clippers upside down to fade.
Upside down?
Yeah, like holding the clipper upside down. That's how he would do fades.
So
and that's how I learned. I learned how to cut hair upside down.
So instead of like this, it was...
You would flip the clipper around and you fade up like this.
Wow.
Yeah, and the fade comes out flawless like that too.
Really?
So that's who taught me. And he was crazy with the designs. And so I would go watch him and then I would bring my friends to his house and he would show me how to do it. And then he ended up starting to work in another shop in Elizabeth. And I had just finished cutting who was now my brother-in-law, he was my friend back then, cutting his hair. And I brought him to the shop. And that's when I, like, hey, look at this cut I just did. Check it out. Like, tell me what you think. Critique me. The owner of that shop heard me talking about it. Like, oh, you're a barber? And I'm like, nah, not really. I'm just, just playing around in my mom's, my parents' garage in the basement. He's like, you want a job? And I'm like, a job? I've only been doing this for like 2 months.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not ready for that, man.
Yeah.
And his exact words were, well, go back in the lab, and when you're ready, come back. I'll give you a chair.
Wow.
I was like, what? Like, it was unbelievable to have that type of opportunity presented to me, like in such an early time of just really just picking up. I think I had Walmart clippers.
Yeah.
I was using my dad's mustache trimmer to do shape ups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think about a week went by and I was like, you know what? I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And I went in and man, I didn't have a car back then. I used to take 2 buses to get to work.
Nice.
So and I was super nervous. So I'd sit outside the shop for 20 minutes before I even walk in because I was so nervous because I didn't, at that time, that was the best shop to be in that area, in Elizabeth and Union County. That was the shop. All the beasts were there.
Got you.
And I'm this new guy, super young, like.
Was that iron sharpen iron type of mentality of like, I'm among the best, so I gotta be the best?
Yeah, well, I always have that mentality. Like my thing is like, I just, whatever I do, I want to be the best in it. Not in the best, like I want to be braggadocious and flashy. And it's just a personal goals that I have that I want to be the best that I can be. Yeah. Yeah.
So from that point, did you go through a couple shops and stuff like that before
I worked there for about, I want to say a year or two. And then, I ended up graduating high school, went to cosmetology school. And it was always a problem because back then barbers weren't using shears. So I would get clients that would come in and get the fade. And then I'm going to go to my wife or my girl's salon to get the shears done. I was like, man, like, that's whack. Like, I don't want to be limited. Yeah. So from there, I went to go work. Like, it was total opposite. I was in the hood, and then I went to like a super high-end salon to work in. I was doing both. So I was like in this like double life. You know what I mean? Where I went to this super high-end salon that was 2 floors, valet parking, $100 haircuts. And this is back in 99, 2000, charging those type of prices. And that kind of showed me like there was a whole other side to this world. So my whole thing was, back then I was fusing those worlds. Like I was getting Vidal Sassoon classes, Paul Mitchell, sexy hair. Like they were putting us in classes. Yeah. So I was learning how to blow dry. I was learning proper techniques, product knowledge. Yeah. Back then. And then with that, I was like, you know what? I don't want to go all the way here. I want to be a happy medium and be able to do.
Yeah, just a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I even see it in your cutting style and, the rosters of people that you cut now or whatever. It's very well versed. So that understanding now, hearing that or whatever, just where that came from and all that stuff. What made it click that you wanted to go from, you're obviously working in a higher end salon with the barbershop combination. Did you have that in mind when you opened up your own shop?
Yeah, again, I was everything that I like to do is authentic to myself. Yeah. so everything can feel good and feel natural.
Yeah.
So that's what I did with my first shop. We opened up like a high-end barbershop.
Okay.
But still had the barbershop feel. It wasn't super pretentious like maybe some of the high-end salons can be.
Yeah.
Because I want to create that vibe. I want people to feel comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, because I see in your brand, the Stash barbershop and stuff like that, it has a bit of that streetwear stuff, but also like that potential to be that high-end stuff.
Yeah, and that's pretty much like authentic to who we are. Like I grew up with the whole like skateboarding, surf culture, hip hop culture, but also seeing the finer thing in life. I didn't grow up having those finer things in life, but those are all goals and aspects, you know.
Yeah.
So it's about fusing everything together and really just being who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that just a combination of your environment of just being up north as a barber and all that stuff, just seeing, you know, the high end stuff and the low end stuff, you know?
Absolutely, because you know where I'm from, New Jersey, New York area, is the melting pot of the world.
Yeah.
So you have every type of client touching your chair from every mixed culture, ethnicity, religion, economical background.
Yeah. So from getting from you know, in the barbershop game, where now you're doing more magazine stuff and all that stuff, and you know, movie sets and all that stuff. What was the first interaction in that world? You know, crossing over from, you know, the barbershop, were you having these high end clients come to your shop, or did you go on to set and stuff like that?
It was going on a set. I have to give it up to Curtis Smith from Exotics. He's the one that threw me in the game.
Yeah.
Working with him, doing all the hair shows. You know, we were doing barber shows when 4 or 5 barbers were showing up.
Yeah.
You know, working with him, and you know, I built his trust, and he saw the way I moved, and he's the one that really threw me in the game to get in there and working with the artists and working with the celebrities. Like my first set that he put me on was for Vogue magazine.
Wow.
You know, it was like John Legend. It was Anthony Mackie, couple supermodels.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
yeah,
what am I doing here?
Gotcha. Was it that initial fear of just being in that set of like, wow, this is about to be on a publication to go around the nation?
It wasn't fear. It was more just being anxious. You know, I have a thing that I do. I visualize and I manifest. A lot of barbers like to use that word, manifest, right?
Yeah.
But I like to visualize where I'm going before I get there. So like, if I'm going to a job, it's almost like I'm sending my spirit out to check it out first, come back and tell me how it is. Yeah. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I visualize myself there, what I'm doing. You know, I break it down to what cologne am I going to wear? You know, what sneakers am I going to wear? Like how am I going to walk in a room? How am I going to greet people? I'm sending myself there before I get there. So I know what's going on. Yeah. It's like I'm watching a preview to the movies. It's my trailer. And that's how I always move. Like the first time Curtis sent me to cut Diddy. I'm like, bro, I'm to cut Diddy? Yeah. I had to visualize myself there, the way that I was going to say what's up, the way I was going to set up my equipment, where I was going to start the haircut, how I was going to do it. I put myself in a situation before I got there. So when I get there, I'm more relaxed, more calm. That's something that I use still to this day.
Wow. So in that preparedness and all that stuff, I see on your Instagram before it says I cut some celebrities. I make moves and all that stuff, and your connections and all that stuff. But I see that you're a very relationship oriented guy. You know what I'm saying? That you're building a team around you and all that stuff to be able to prosper and all that stuff. What goes into that? What are you looking for in like a character to move with, you know? Because I feel like you're on a higher state as far as people's careers or where they want to aspirations and all that stuff. You have to move a certain way to be around certain people and all that. Yeah. What's that mentality like of being around that?
Of how that I'm trying to find people to be around, or how I move in those type of circles?
Yeah, both. So
the way that I move in those certain type of circles, that I don't want anything from anybody. You know what I mean? I'm not. It's not about just taking and taking. It's also about giving. It's about having an equal share of energy. If you're giving me something, I want to be able to give you something back. I don't want to just want. It's not about me. You know, it's about the people around me. Because if I build my circle strong around me, that's only gonna make me stronger. It's not the Chaz show.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a lot of just the way that I move, and I just try to find similar people that have similar just background, have the same beliefs, the same morals.
Yeah.
You know, and I just have to feel you. Your energy. It's all energy. It's an energy game. When you go on sets, when you go to work with artists, to work with athletes, it's all the energy you give. They don't feel your energy from the door, they may tell you to leave. Yeah. Or you cut their hair and that's the last time you cut them. So it's all energy.
Yeah. Well, I see that versus thing of like a celebrity barber and a barber that does celebrities, and I feel like you're on the latter end where you're a barber.
I'm the barber who cuts celebrities.
Yeah.
People call me a celebrity barber.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like my OGs taught me that let them call you a celebrity. You never call yourself a celebrity barber. I learned that from Curtis, JB Bivens in Chicago.
Yeah.
Taught me that because I remember the first time I went to go cut a celebrity, I was like, oh, yo, can I call myself, am I a celebrity barber now? I'm a little young. I'm a celebrity barber. Can I put that in my, this is before Instagram. Can I put this on my MySpace? Oh, wow. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Can I, you know, they're like, nah, chill out.
Yeah.
Let that come. You know, just because you cut 1, 2, 3 here, por aquí, por allá, you're not a celebrity barber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, the way that I move, I don't want to be the flashy. We can be flashy.
Yeah.
If I want to get flashy, we could do it.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just not what I'm trying to portray. It's not the energy that I'm trying to put out there. You know what I mean? Like, we can get flashy all day. That's fine. But I'm gonna be that dude that's gonna walk in a room and my presence is what's gonna make you feel like just me being there, not me talking about what I have or what I could do, which is fine. If that's the way you move, that's the way you move. That's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not me. You know, that's why me and Jesse vibe so much, because like, I vibed him the first day that I met him. Yeah. We just laid back.
Well, even just, you know,
you're gonna figure out who I am. And what I do.
Yeah, for sure. Well, even just being here the last couple of days, filming the SMP class and all that stuff. It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? You just have a very relaxed energy and all that stuff. You're just a dude. You know what I'm saying?
That's my father, man. My father's a hippie from Colorado.
Okay, so I'm
a product of a Colombian Barranquillera costeña.
Yeah. And
my father's a hippie from Colorado. So with that together, that's what you get.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So talking about more of the business side of things, and building your brand and all that stuff, because at this point it's a pretty iconic staple in the barber industry. Where did that energy manifest from itself? Was it just like building that stash barbershop up and just putting out clean work and stuff like that, or marketing?
Well, man, I have to give praise to my business partner, Checo the Barber. When we put our heads together, we just come up with great ideas, and I'll come up with crazy ideas, and he's very good at execution. Yeah. You know, everything was just built organically. We didn't try to do anything. You know, we were in a shop previously working together. That it was dope. It wasn't dope. Not dope at all. And if you're watching it, you're not dope. But it was a nice spot, and he was very organized. I gotta give him that. He was doing his thing. It's just it was that pretentious vibe. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's just not what we were and what we are. So we just wanted to create a brand that everybody could relate to. So like our first t-shirts that we came with were very very graphic driven. Yeah. Very powerful words to make you feel proud to be a barber, because when I came up, being a barber was a dirty word. Oh, you're just a barber? Yeah. Oh, you're gonna be a barber? Yeah. Oh, really? You're a barber? Like, it was always like, damn, bro. Yeah. Can't catch a break. Yeah, I am. So we came out, like, our first t-shirt was Embrace the Stash. Was the first t-shirt we came out with, and it was it was a Mayan calendar built with like razors and clippers and the razor blades, and that was our first T-shirt. Embrace it, like we're coming, we're here,
Yeah.
and we're putting up. We put this Mayan calendar, like the power, like the strength that we have, that we're coming. And then we came with the Respect Your Barber T-shirt, and then we had our Mr. Stash character, like on like you know that movie Warriors,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
gangs where they're all like standing up like this,
Yeah.
all the barbers are standing like this.
Yeah.
Powerful imagery. I love my clippers, which had like the New York, like I love my clippers, which you know, it was all things for like it was all conversation pieces as well that you could wear. And oh, that's a dope T-shirt. Are you a barber? Yeah. Oh, you got a business card? Which a lot of people told me, like, bro, these T-shirts help me get business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's about like I like to do things that's gonna elevate our culture.
Yeah, because I see, you know, you being a part of that. I feel like that explosion of the barber battle, the barber culture, or whatever. It's gigantic now. It's big business. There's people moving in to it from outside that aren't necessarily a part of the culture and all that stuff.
The culture vultures.
Yeah. So
but that's gonna happen.
Yeah. How do you feel about where the culture is going and stuff like that? I saw you post it was like a video, I think, of Diddy, and like it was them at their house or whatever, and it's a bunch of different artists from different labels, and they're playing music for each other. And in the caption is like, you know, we should do this more often, of like the OGs and the young heads and all that stuff. Do you have any, I guess, suggestions or vision of what that could be, of like having more unity in the barber community?
Well, a thing that Curtis started at Bronner Brothers were the after parties. What was the name of it, Jesse? The Barbers Round Table.
Yeah.
Right. He started that, the Barbers Round Table in Atlanta at Puff's restaurant, Justin's, and all these barbers from all over the country. After Bronner Brothers, we had somewhere to go.
Yeah.
Right. All the companies were there. All like the top barbers at the time of the industry, upcoming barbers would come, eat, have dinner, have drinks. They present awards. It wasn't about battle. It was about competition. It was about networking.
Yeah.
About just talking. You know, like, you know, I could think I'm the baddest barber in my area, right? But then you meet a guy like, remember Alex Campbell? He was like doing stuff that people were doing now, praising, but he was doing that back then.
Yeah.
With like the color enhancements and doing that. So you're like, man, because in Jersey, we weren't really doing color enhancements. It was just straight cutting. No one even knew about that.
Yeah.
So it was just that network. That's where all this started, man. From those round tables. That's Curtis, bro.
Yeah.
And this other dude, Eric, God's favorite barber, they're the ones that started all this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's other players too, but like that round table was like, that's where I met who did I meet there? I met Pacino's there. Right? This is before, you know, the Pacino that he is now. We met.
Yeah. That was the app Pacino.
You know, another Colombian cat. We hung out, we chilled. There was like, you know, that vibe.
Yeah.
I met Jesse. I met everybody, man. Jay Bivens, like meeting those people have put me in different places, working with different artists, different athletes, and everything kind of just led.
Yeah.
It's like a ladder. It's all network. It's all relationships.
Yeah.
And that vibe that was kicked off there, that's a good energy to have. The battles and everything, that's super dope. That's cool, you know? But it's also good to have that little unity. The battles kind of create a little bit of tension. If you lose, if you don't lose. That's why I stopped judging battles, right? Because, you know what? I don't really want to judge people for their art. And I don't want to have any animosity because somebody lost. So, like, I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
I'm here just to build my brand. Battles are dope, though. You know, it's super dope for the culture, but.
For sure. Yeah. So getting from that networking and the power of networking and all that stuff, I see that you're kind of constantly on the run and all that stuff, flying across the country and all that stuff. Yeah. What is it like balancing that between, because do you still cut at the shop and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So how does that balance work out as far as, you know, traveling so much, and do you always have to have like a set, you know, this is the case for on the go and all that stuff?
Yeah, a lot of Cuban coffee.
A lot of Cuban coffee.
A lot of Cuban coffee.
Yeah, absolutely.
And water.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a tough balance because every day is a new day.
Yeah.
I'm Sagittarius, so I guess, you know, they say that we're very sporadic. We love adventure, so I enjoy it.
Yeah.
The tough balance is with my clients that have been with me for a while, that You know, and you know, have to cancel last minute, get called, and I don't do it because I feel that these people are more important than the clients that I have every day. But it's just we're on a different kind of mission, and like for me to get to the level that where I'm at right now, it took a lot of sleepless nights, even just before the barbering stuff. When just networking, going to New York City, traveling to these hair shows, doing this, like that. Like now, all that hard work, those steps paid off. You know, they say it takes 10 years to make overnight celebrity. I'm not a celebrity, but that's just that's the saying.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm here now. I can't stop. So the balance is just really structuring it as best as you can, learning when to say no to certain things because I also have 3 children and a wife. So that's my most important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing comes before that.
Yeah.
You know, so like it's just about balancing that out. You know, like I go do my job and I leave and I come back.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it that
back in the day we go do the job, maybe hang out, chill, but
yeah.
It's different now. Yeah, you have to move very strategically.
Well, is that envisioning that you have of like having, that trailer of the job, but also post job of like what it is gonna be back home and all that stuff?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
So like how you had, an envision to get to that job, how you envision it going back home. Is it more of you thinking of like, all right, how am I going to design my life to fit, my desires and stuff like that?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, without losing the structure of my family.
Yeah.
Because I've started seeing guys like that too, that even in the barber game that were going to the shows every Sunday, there's a show here, there's a show there, building that brand. And then they're getting caught up in their own hype from Instagram and social media and everyone. Let me take a picture.
Yeah.
But meanwhile,
back home,
yeah,
a lot of corrosion.
Wife and kids are like, "Where's Daddy at?"
Yeah,
and I heard that, and that's not what I want. Like, I'll give all that up.
Yeah,
if I give everything up, I'll go work at Burger King.
Yeah,
and live a normal ass life if I had to. For my children, but at this point where I'm at right now, I have to work. I have to put this work in now and build with the right people. That's why I'm here with Jesse right now, because he's teaching. I'm learning S&P from the best in the business.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because now that's gonna teach me I can slow down a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. One head's taking me 4 hours.
Yeah, yeah,
for sure. 6 hours.
Yeah,
it's slowing me down. So it's strategic. You know, because I could do the S&P now, learn this, but my name. I built a name for myself, a trusted brand for myself that people, once they know that I'm nice with the S&P, they're like, I have to go to this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm just a branch from the sixth element of what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, even just discovering that where you came from early in your career in the higher end places and taking the Vidal Sassoon classes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This is kind of not normal for you, but I guess something that you know how to look out for and all that stuff. So talking about
I'm able to move in any setting.
Yeah.
That's what I'm great at. Even like, because my mom comes to watch my kids every day in the morning, right? And every day in the morning I'm on the phone. So I may be talking to the manager, business dude, or I may be talking to the rapper, all in like a 10-minute span. So I get on the phone like, yo, what up, bro? All right, cool. Da 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 da. Blah, blah. Hey. And my mom's like this, and then someone else coming. Hey, how's it going? Yes, sure. Okay. Today at 8, perfect. I'll be there. So it's just about being a chameleon and being able to move.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and that's what a lot of barbers, like, not even barbers, just people in general, don't understand their surroundings. We were in this shop the other day, and this old man came in and talked to this one dude, and the old dude says, like, okay, thank you. Like, I bet, word.
Oh, shit.
Like, yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, guys. This generation doesn't have respect.
Yeah. For sure.
You know? Know your surroundings.
For sure. So
I don't know where that came from, but
yeah.
Bars.
So furthering this education and all that stuff, what kind of made you start going into this S&P realm? How did it come onto your radar? As far as the S&P and wanting to take this class with Jesse and all that stuff.
So, I have a saying that I say, you either have to evolve or you're going to dissolve. Right? So I feel that this is the next step for barbering. And I think it's something that I need to learn, that I want to be part of. You know, again, I've been speaking to Jesse for 4 or 5 years about it. When I first saw him do it, I call him every once in a while and ask him mad questions.
Yeah.
And like, I'm gonna do it. And I never, I never do it.
Yeah.
And then finally this time, man, like I saw my man Danny from Dugout, him go do it. He's a Jersey cat.
Yeah.
And I saw him do it, and I immediately called him after, and I was like, "Yo, so tell me about the class. What do you think? This is that." And it was a few different guys that inspired me. But I used to call Jesse's probably like, "Yo, this guy's bullshit, bro." Because I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna do it. Yo, how much is it? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it." But then finally this time, it was like, it has evolved, and Jesse's a big part of that evolving. And Jesse's family, you know what I mean? And seeing how he's doing it and the way he's doing it has inspired me. And I feel that this is the next level for barbers, because it's always like, the barber's plateau is, oh, I want to shop. So what do you do after that?
Yeah.
But now, we have different avenues. We create products, create t-shirt line, create brands. So there's all these different avenues that all these different barbers are showing that it can be much bigger than, oh, you're just a barber, So that as part of that, it's like, I want to be part of this movement because my name holds weight, and I want to be able to help push it, and I want to be able to help Jesse push his brand further as well.
Yeah. Is that comes back to that relationship, that network, that circle of just rooting for you and versus the other and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's like coming together like Voltron, man. Yeah. Or Thundercats or whatever. You could beat or the Avengers. You can get that one dude.
Yeah.
You might be able to beat them up, but if they all come together, they're super strong.
Yeah.
You put hand over fist and you unite.
Yeah.
Through division, what's gonna happen? Me hating on this person, that person. Listen, not everyone's gonna get along in the game, but if you have that certain people that you get along with and you have trust, like you just grow it together. Jesse's all the way in Tampa. I'm in New Jersey. Like he's not my competition.
No.
Even if my man from Fader Barbershop, Goof, he's right down the street from me.
Yeah.
He's not my competition.
Yeah. You guys are building your own lanes.
If anything, we could just call, how'd you do that? Or, we can help each other.
Yeah.
That's the vibe, man. It's the help. Not every barber and every shop's going to get along. Like that. I'm not here for kumbaya. Everybody's playing in the fields with flowers. Yeah. But there's certain people that, if you could build that camaraderie. Sorry, I had a little, that was my immigrant moment. That's my Colombian mom side coming out. Camaraderie.
Yeah, there you go.
I was trying to sound smart. You have that brotherhood. There's certain people that you're gonna get along with, and you build it up like a band of brothers, like Team Exotics, man. Like we come from Team Exotic. We come from Curtis Smith. That's the nucleus of all this.
Yeah. That branch out.
Everyone built their own brands, and that just shows Curtis like his power, because there's a lot of people that built their own brands that came from that Exotics nucleus.
Absolutely.
And very, very, very successful. Pacinos, J Majors, you have Danny from Clippers, Jesse, myself, Checo, DC. Well, the list. I'm sorry if I forget anybody, but the list really does go on of successful people in our industry.
Yeah. Do you see that in your position now? Do you see yourself trying to do that with younger barbers that you see coming up and all that stuff, maybe in your shopping?
Absolutely. I have to pay it forward.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. I've taught countless young guys how to cut hair.
Yeah.
To give them something to always have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that conversation like as far as like, I guess outside of just the technical stuff, but the mental of like, wanting to build yourself up and your brand? With
the people that I'm bringing under me or with me?
Yeah.
So, I don't bring them under me. I bring them with me.
Yeah.
I don't say you stand next to me. I don't stand behind me. I just teach them about life. And just morals.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's really what it comes down to, in character.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you could be nice with the clippers and you can do a million fades and designs and whatever you want to do, but it's about your character.
Absolutely.
And what are you leaving your mark on the world? Are you bringing good into the world? Or are you going to bring bad or negative?
Yeah. I know we're getting close to the time and all that stuff.
Nah, let's keep going, man. I like this.
Good.
This is like therapy,
right? I feel like I should get a couch or something, or have a pipe or the vest or whatever.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to make things happen as far as the celebrity thing or more Hollywood stuff and that clientele, where would you say for them to start? Because I mean, I feel like the internet is such a big space right now.
Yeah.
And you could post your work and such will see it and all that stuff or whatever. Do you think geography has to do with it a little bit?
Yeah, definitely geography for sure.
Yeah.
You have to be where they're at,
Mm.
right? If you and with Instagram, if you know an artist that you like that you want to work with is doing a show,
yeah,
pull up to the show.
Mm.
All right. If he's doing another show 20 minutes from your town, pull up to that show.
Yeah.
You have to chase this. It's not going to just fall on your lap, and you might not get to the artist right away.
Yeah.
You build around the artist, right? When you play chess, you don't go right for the king and queen. You do the pawn, you got to knock the pawn out, you got to knock the rook out, and so on and so forth. So you may want to cut his road manager, or you might want to get into people that may look at those DMs or may take the time to talk to you.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe their roadie, the guy who does their lights at the show.
Yeah.
You build around that. You cut them.
Yeah.
You work with them. You start talking, networking with them. Do that. It's not just straight for the gusto. Again, this is a process. It's not just people get lucky and get thrown right in there. Relationships, people
Yeah.
Geography. I'm in New Jersey. I'm only 20 minutes from New York. So after work, straight to New York. I'm going to the shows. I'm going to the events. I'm talking. I'm networking. I'm figuring out who's who.
Yeah.
You cut the photographer. You cut the publicist. It's not about just the artist.
Yeah.
Because sometimes artists come and go. But the players behind the scenes are always there, and they always new artists that are funneling through their channels.
Yeah. Well, somebody that's, I guess, young and upcoming in the barber game, there's so many barbers getting produced now and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What would be the questions that they should ask themselves or ask, I guess, somebody that's ahead of the line and stuff like that? Do you see like there's important things that they should knock off the list as far as building their career?
Building their career. They just have to make a list of where they see themselves in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and what they want out of what they're doing. Some people just want to be in the shop, and that's fine, and they're gonna make a ton of money being in the shop.
Yeah,
that's what they want. That's all they want, and that's fine with that.
Yeah.
There's some guys that want to do the show. It just have to see what you really want from it, because there's so many different avenues.
Yeah,
and try it out, because some things might not be for you.
Yeah. Is there an aspect of your career that you thought you were gonna go gun ho with, and then you're like, nah, that really wasn't for me?
No, because everything was a step to lead me to somewhere else. So I just kind of look at if I made a mistake or something, it was a lesson learned. So nothing that I could think that I really
it's just another step.
It's just another step forward.
Yeah. So, wrapping this up and all that stuff, where can people find you on your Instagram and all that stuff if they want to visit your shop and all that? Or
so the barbershop is in Union, New Jersey. It's called Stash Barbershop. My Instagram is Chaz The Barber, CEEHAZ The Barber. And you can hit me up right there if you have any questions or want to ask me anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll hit you back.
Yeah. No, it's been great. I don't know, just interviewing so many barbers and the higher end of things and all that stuff, being open books and being able to share and all that stuff, especially from your upcoming of everybody kind of keeping it secret, but everything's out there at this point.
Everything's out there at this point.
Yeah.
There's no point in keeping things secret.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
The information's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But shout out to all the barbers that are doing their thing. There's so many cool little projects and barbers and events, like the verses, like during the
quarantine and all that.
Quarantine, like Papito and Angel putting that together. That was super dope to watch. Like when all of us were at home, kind of just like okay, what do we do next?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So that was super cool for them to do that, man. You have Jay's show coming up in Connecticut. You have BarberCon coming up. You just gotta support the culture, man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Some barbers don't want to go to the shows, or they think they don't need it. Listen, you don't have to be at every show, but we've never had things like this before. At least when I was coming up. Now, you know, it's a dime a dozen.
Yeah, it's more common.
But there's certain shows you got to go to and just see what's going on. See what's new in our industry. What new clippers are coming out. What new razors. What new... You never know what can happen. But that's what it is. A lot of, you know, I see like on like the Barbershop Connects and this and that. Like I could be a platform artist, or I should be on this and that. But if you're just home, no one's gonna discover you.
Yeah.
You know? If that's what you want to be, then go out there and make that happen. It may not happen the first time, it may not happen the second time, but you have to keep everyone that you see on those platforms right now that are those big barbers that you like look up to, man, they all started somewhere, bro. I remember when all of them, all those guys that I know that are on those upper echelons and have their face on clippers and that, all started somewhere. They all went to a show where nobody knew them, but they made themselves known.
Yeah.
And it took them years. It didn't happen. They didn't just get a clipper overnight. Yeah. You know?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for doing this for the culture and sitting with me and having this conversation.
Bro. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And until next time, everybody. Thank you.
You're
I'll keep that in there. Thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and found any value in it, please share it with your fellow barbers and your fellow friends. Consider subscribing so you're up to date when we have new episodes, and leave us a rating. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, everybody, stay present.